We're ready for round one.
Yes, well, I'm Anna. I'm going to have you here as this debate, and I'm going to expose my point of view why I'm in favor. Well, first of all, I have a question, and is can children actually have a proper formation without the tools technology is providing nowadays? Well, according to UNICEF, around 60% of the kids in Eastern Europe and Central Asia have access to the internet, while the 50% have access in Latin America. So this means that probably a 4-year-old kid is using technology right now. And I'm not referring only to internet, I'm referring to video games and another apps which can be downloaded. So what children mainly do with technology is playing video games because this represents the 44%. And I think that technology in general brings a lot of benefits because they can improve their communication skills. They can talk to their...
Thank you.
Well, before starting to my position on the subject, I want to ask you a question. We all want a bright future and a decent mental health for our future children, no? Well, I will split my arguments in 3 different points. The first one is the importance of parents to be in constant control of what their children are watching on the internet. According to a study carried by the framework of Auslan, 65% of children between 10 and 15 years old use the internet without supervision because a large number of families ignore the technology and is unaware of the risk their children are running. This risk comes from the sexual harassment some websites may have exposed to our children. No, according to a police report of Save the Children Viral Violence, it contains revealing data such as that 21.45% of the minors surveyed have undergone grooming during their childhood.
Thank you. We're ready for the second round where you review your opponent.
Okay, so you said that there's really no restrictions on what kids are watching on the internet or with the use of technology, but at this time there's a possibility that their parents can regulate what they see. So I mean, it's not like a pretty bad thing because kids can improve a lot of skills. They can acquire new skills, and it also promotes the self-study. For example, they can explore new things through the internet and through video games. So I don't think that it's a risk, and parents can regulate what they're watching. There's like no liberty at all.
Well, then arguing is that the access to all information is really the problem. One kid have the access to so many things like violence, like live stream murder, the deep web, and some that thing of the communication in the video games. You have the possibility to know any person around the world, and I don't know, you really don't know that person. You don't know his history, how he is in the real world, and that, in my opinion, is a risk.
Yeah, but I mean, not everything is internet. They can play with apps, they can draw, they can do another thing, and it's not necessarily like.
Thank you. We're ready for the questions.
Hello, and Valentina, but I don't think she's here.
Okay, someone that can ask questions.
So for you, technology is being used like as of the past 5-10 years in teaching. So if you this allow the right of using technology in minors, how could you like probably advance to the new era of using technology to learn, like in primary schools or secondary schools?
Well,
yeah.
I think that in schools, the technology isn't used like it's supposed to be. We need to teach in the schools that the internet could be a dangerous place to be, no? Like you have the access to so many websites that are not meant to be for children, no? I don't know if any of you have like an experience of seeing something that you should not see because of not having any supervision, no? So I think in schools it's necessary to teach the importance of navigating in the internet.
Thank you.
So and for Emma, so we know that like the internet, well, technology is mainly the internet, right? So using technology in like 4 or 5 up to 15-year-olds, we know that it contains like stuff that they're not supposed to see, as he said. So if there is like no parent supervision, what other alternatives would you propose? Imagining the parents are like careless or something.
Well, that's an interesting question because, as you said, and as I said before, not everything is based on internet. And actually, there is a probability of not having that, like, this restriction. But I mean, if you have like a proper formation as a kid, I mean, when you were little, not necessarily as 15 years old, you, well, the education for you is to know what you can see and what you are not allowed to access. So by that time, I mean, you know what is wrong and what you can access to. So there is the possibility of avoiding that, like the news, bad news, or videos, or I don't know.
Thank you. We're ready for conclusions, the final statements from each of the participants.
Well, in the 2000s, considering that as a year reference, around less than the 7% of the population was online and had facilities using the technology. But now it's known that half of the population in this world is has at least the access to the internet. So according with these statistics, we can see that in 20 years, technology has advanced a lot. And before, when someone said technology, we imagine like these complicated things. But now technology has become like more portable and more personal, so we can do basically whatever we want, and I guess that's good for humanity.
Next.
Well, first of all, I understand your point of view. I respect it, but I also hope you understand my concern in the mismanagement of the technology, such as the internet. No, 21% of the children's, for me, it's like a really large number. No, in violent programs, video games, and improper use without adult supervision can lead to perform poorly in school, as a matter of fact. And that's it.